Okay, let's get ready for a HIIT, a high intensity interval training. I have 5-pound dumbbells, 8-pound dumbbells, and 12-pound dumbbells. Your first exercise is a goblet squat, which is just right here. You're going to hold the weight right here or right here, and it's just an up and a down. So your knees are going to track with your toes. And then we move to a supine chest, which is you're going to grab your weights, and we're going to start out with the hands about 45 degrees. You can leave your knees bent, and we're going to hold our weights and bring them up. So you're going to feel this pinch the chest, okay? And then while we're down here, we're just going to go with abs. So we're going to be doing all kinds of abs right here. Some of them will just be a hold for like 10, 20 seconds. With that said, I have 2 mats just so I can protect my floor from the weights. I'm so afraid I'm going to drop something. So let's get going. When you're ready, just step back and forth. A little tiny warm up. You can march in place, you can jog in place, whatever you like to do. Just mostly just warming those muscles up before we get going. When we're doing our goblet squats, I'm going to keep checking your form. Whenever you're ready, stretch down, take it around, bring it back up. Stretch down, take it around and bring it up. We're going to do 2 more. Oh, good job. Grab your weights. You ready for those goblet squats? I have 2 12s. I'm going to try to hold them. When they get too heavy, I'm putting them down. Here we go. So coming down, pushing up. Breathe. I'm going to turn sideways just a little bit. I don't know how many that was. I'm going to say that was about 8 or 10. You're welcome to do as many as you want to. We're coming down. Grab. I'm going to start with the light weights first. I have 5s. My palms are up, and my hands are about 45 degrees. So when you're ready, pressing up and coming down, and up and down. And if you want a challenge, you can kind of hover above the floor, so not touching the floor and coming back up. And then when you're ready, we are coming down. And all we're doing here is just going to pulse right at the top. And you're ready for those goblet squats again. Take your time, set your legs, okay? Toes are out a little bit, squat down. The chest stays open and the back as flat as you can make it. Don't bend forward. If you can only get 5 of these, then only do 5. I'm struggling. 24 pounds right here, I'm struggling. Coming down. Grab those weights for that chest again. Work in the pecs. I'm going to move to the 8s. I'm going to try them. They might be just a little too heavy, I don't know. Arms down about 45 degrees. So we're not out at a T. Oh yeah, I feel this one a little more in the pecs. When you're finished, take them down. Coming around to the hands and knees. We're gonna hold a bear pose. So your knees are gonna come off the floor just a little bit. Dig the toes. Keep breathing. So my glutes are up, my belly's tucked in. If you wanted to add a little bit to this, you could start to move one knee in or back, or move one arm up and down, one hand up and down. Your choice. It's a little too much for me yet today. All right, coming down. You ready for goblets again? Set it up, get a hold of those weights. I feel like every time I do a squat or a goblet squat, I'm continually adjusting my feet. So definitely don't feel like you have to stop to do it. You can always just kind of place the toes out and come back to it. Okay? All right. Oh, that one was hard to get up. Let's move back to the chest. Now you can leave your legs straight on this if you like. The reason I like to have my knees bent is because then my low back stays a little closer to the floor. And that's part of your stability here, is your abs contract the whole time. All right, taking them down, and when you're ready, roll to the side. We're going to do some side crunches. So my lower hand is right down here because I don't want to be able to push up right here, okay? So lower hand is here. My hips are stacked up. I might roll back just a little bit, but it's not much. This hand is going to start pointing toward the toes. And notice that we're not moving a lot here. It's a tiny little movement. It's all right here, and I can also feel it in the tricep as I pull up. I don't want anything going on up here. If you wanted to, you could kind of hold your head, but I just don't want you to pull your head. All right, let's change to the other side. Same thing. My knees are bent. This hand moves down. This hand is going to point toward the toes. You'll notice one side probably works a little better than the other side. I don't feel like I'm going quite as high on this side. But since I can't see it, I don't know. So you're getting your obliques and bringing it down. You're ready for goblet squats. Take your time getting up. It's going to be amazing if I finish this workout with these 12s. They're heavy today. Whew. Check your form. Chest is open. You're not bent over. If you're bent over, you're using your back a little too much. We want it to be about the legs. Come on, come on. I can do 2 more. And 1 more. Come on. Moving to chest. One more. Coming to plank, turn it around. Now you can do elbow plank if you like. You can do knees down if you like, so if you want to stay right here, you're welcome to do that. Just make sure your belly's not hanging down. Dig your toes, glutes are up just a tiny bit. The belly button's pulled back. Your shoulders are over the elbows. Take a look. Take a look at your toes. What are they doing? And then look at your hands. And release. Ooh, if you need a little stretch right here it is, child's pose. Get a drink whenever you need it. I forgot to bring my water in here, so I'm going to switch down. I'm going to do one 12-pound weight today, or right now, and coming down. Back to chest. Are you getting warm? I'm hot. If you really wanted a little something extra, you could take your weights all the way to the top, pinch them together, and then bring them back. I'm not going to do that. If I had rubber 8-pounders, I would do it. I just don't like to hear them clump together. One more. Or 10 if you're better than I am today. Oh my goodness. All right, here we go. We're gonna do an elbow to knee. So hands are behind the head. We're not pulling. If you need to, you can always go hands behind the neck, not pulling. And just elbow up, elbow up. You notice that I'm hardly moving. I'm not pulling my whole upper body off of the floor. That's just one shoulder moving up, elbow toward the knee. If you feel like you're pulling your head, drape those fingertips behind the neck. You can still do this without pulling. One more time, come on. And relax. If you need to, take a little stretch right here. We're moving back to the goblet squats. Okay, so you know why it's called a goblet squat? Because you're holding like a goblet. We're going to drink our wine like this with a straw, bringing it down. A two-fisted goblet. One more, come on. Whenever you're ready, bring it up. On this one, your elbows are bent slightly. We don't ever want to have our elbows locked out. You'll have a hyperextension if you lock out your elbows. And especially for me, any of you that know me know I have soft joints, so they kind of move around sometimes where they're not supposed to. One more, come on, you can do it. Oh yeah, that was it right there. Okay, abs, coming up for boat pose. So in your boat pose, you can stay right here. Okay, you can drop one foot, you can drop the other foot. You can play with it back and forth if you like. It doesn't matter, because as long as at least one of the feet is activated in the up position, the abs are contracting, okay? So it can be right here. Good job. Let's move it to the goblet squats again. Let's see how many I can do since I had a tiny little rest. So worth it. Come on down. I'm going to change. It's getting a little too intense there. Oh. Changing to the 5s. If you need to, you'll do without. Do what you need to do. And last one, bringing it down. When you're ready, tuck the hands underneath the hip bones. So you're, oh shoot. We should at least do 2 more. So drop the legs out, one at a time. And that is your 15 minutes of HIIT. So let's start the cool down. So when you're ready, let's stand. We're going to march in place just to get our heart rates down. If you want to, you can like step to the side. Let the arms swing. Good job. You may not feel that tomorrow, but 2 days after the workout is normally when I feel it. All right, we're moving to a lunge, so just turn sideways, knee over the ankle. And I have my front toe turned in just a little bit because that's what's comfortable for me. I can turn it out, but it tends to throw my balance off a little bit, so I have a little cheat going on by turning my toe in. If you like, you can shoulder roll right here. And reverse it. When you're ready, we are going to stretch it a little straighter and bending forward. Now, this is always just a slight bend. It's never locked totally back, okay? And release, moving to the other side lunge. Your knee is over the ankle. This foot is also turned in just a tiny bit for me. Whew. And when you're ready, hands behind, clasping the fingertips, open the chest. So opening that chest where you worked it. And release. Shoulder rolls again. If you want to, big arm circle, big arm circle. Straighten your front leg. If you want to, bending forward. If you have the flexibility, you can touch the floor. If not, stay right in here. And coming up. Good job, good job. If you want to, you can do a quad stretch. I have the wall right here, so definitely be really careful here. And then bring it forward and up. Other side. And bring it forward. And reverse. And release. All right, come on up to the top. Inhale. And exhale, forward fold. Walk those feet back. Bring the knees down. Find your child's pose. Just for a second. And coming forward, we're coming to the elbows. So the shoulders are parked over the elbows. And we come into Sphinx Pose. So the tops of the feet on the mat or on the floor. Looking across the room. And our head is not down in here like a turtle. Our head is pushed out. So we're pushed actively through the elbows, through the shoulders, out the top of the head. And relax, moving back to that child's pose. We're going to add one more twist here and then we're finished. So when you're ready, walk the hands one direction. So you're going to walk the hands, I'm walking them to the right, and I'm going to push into my left hip. And the other way. I'm going left. I'm pushing into my right hip. You're going to feel a big, big stretch down that really long side from the bottom of the obliques all the way through the tricep. And when you're ready, release. Moving around to a comfortable seated pose for you. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, lean to one side, stretching the obliques again. Inhaling up. And exhale to the other side. And the last one, inhale up. And exhale to the heart center. Thank you for joining me, friends. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.